Hi, I'm Kesenya and welcome to Guiding Star Astrology. I'm your Astro Weather Girl, here with this week's Astro Weather Report. I'm going to show you how the stars are going to affect your life this week. In my videos, I use both Vedic and traditional Western techniques with tropical astrology, not sidereal astrology. I also use the traditional system of whole sign astrology for my analysis. You can use this video to the best of your advantage by listening to the introduction to understand what the week holds for you, and then going to the timestamps for your sun, moon, and rising sign to get a more personalized forecast for the week ahead. Astrology is not designed to scare you. It's designed to give you information so that you know what the good and the challenging energies in the week ahead will be, and you can therefore consciously work with them to the best of your advantage. Remember, knowledge is power. Now, there are scammers about, and so if you should receive a message from me on any platform requesting your money for a reading, know that it is a scam. Report them immediately. And now settle in and let's see what the astral skies have in store for the week ahead. Welcome everybody. I want to empower you through the tool of astrology this week and send you all my love for a very happy and festive Christmas season. This week we're looking at the energies from the 17th of December through to the 24th of December, Christmas Eve. So quite an exciting period. Yay! Also, I want to celebrate with you all the fact that I have now, after a long while, finally reached 20,000 subscribers here on YouTube. It's been a long haul, long climb. I've been running my YouTube channel associated with astrology since about 2018. So, yeah, we finally got there, 20,000. It's a successful feeling to have finally hit that mark. So I want to thank each and every one of you who've traveled with me so far towards attaining that point, towards being here at 20,000 subscribers. And so as a special gift to say thank you, I'm offering $100 off my Astro Wheels just for the next week only. If you would like to purchase an Astro Wheel, it's not as big as this. Let me just use the magic of editing to get one of my Astro Wheels for you. These are the magnetic Astro Wheels I sell through my Astro shop at the website, link in the description below. They come with magnetic planets. You can buy extra sets of magnetic planets too if you want more than one set of planets, but you can move them around obviously wherever you need to put them. It also is a spinning Astro Wheel, so if you want to hang it up on the wall like a clock, you can do that, and you can spin it to wherever you want. You could put an arrow here for your rising sign. It's a great teaching tool if you're an astrology teacher. Need I go on? It's a fabulous little astrological instrument. So if you would like one, now is the time to grab one, but only for the next week, because I'm offering, as I said, $100 off as a celebration for hitting 20,000 subscribers. So head to the link in the description below. Now, also, if you'll just bear with me a second before we get into the astrology for the week, my introductory level for the Royal Stars Academy will be going on sale. This is the first level on sale from Solstice, 22nd of December this year, until the end of January. Now, when I say this is on sale, I mean this is on sale. $500 off the original price. So if you want to be a student of astrology with me as your teacher and begin, you can begin your journey to becoming a certified astrologer through the introductory level of the Royal Stars Academy, or you can just study for your own edification to understand astrology, to sort of what's all this all about, start with the basics, the foundations. Then now's your chance. From now, or from the 22nd of December until the end of January, $500 off. This is way over half price. It is such a bargain, especially for you as we enter into the new year, because I'm just So excited to be getting the hell out of 2022, which has been the worst year of my life that I can recall. So let's celebrate by moving into 2023 and learning more astrology together. Head to the link in the description below. Don't miss out. Now, for those who've already journeyed with me doing the introductory level of the Royal Stars Academy, I want you to know that the intermediate level is due for release this coming March. It'll be around about the time of spring equinox that I'll be releasing that. So that's the second level of the Royal Stars Academy. And for those who aren't aware, there are 4 levels. So introductory, intermediate, advanced coming in 2024, and in 2025 professional practice level. So 4 levels for you to become a certified astrologer, or to just simply enter in at whatever level you feel is appropriate to your astrological journey and learn some new tips and techniques and ideas and concepts about astrology. It's just my delight to share astrology with you and all that I know about astrology with you. The intermediate level is going to be, I think at this stage, like I'm still putting some bits and pieces together, but we're looking at way over 80 hours worth of lectures and workbooks, charts and tables and techniques and tips. It's an amazing course, just the intermediate level alone. So get ready, that one's coming around spring equinox for you all. Thank you for letting me share that with you. I will be mentioning that at the end of each sign. And the reason I do that is because some people don't listen to the introduction and they just go straight to the sign, and I want them to know about this information as well. But let's jump into this week's energy focus, guys. Okay, busy week, particularly around the 22nd and 23rd. But on the 18th of December, we're going to have a trine from Uranus here to Mercury down here in Capricorn, both in earth signs, the green signs on my astro wheel. So here is Mercury in Capricorn. Mercury is going to be retrograding in Capricorn towards the end of the month. But prior to that, he's making this little trine to Uranus at 15 degrees. It's actually the first trine of December. We haven't had a trine yet in the astrology. Not before time. We really love trines because they bring blessing, they bring ease. So under this friendly and sociable energy, we might meet some really fascinating and interesting people. New friends, making new friends that are very, quirky, unique, different kinds of people. We might even create some rather electrifying, Uranus, new social connections, people who really get us out of a rut, or shake us up, or charge us up in some way, people who change our lives. So that can be quite exciting, especially if you've felt somewhat stuck socially. So there's also new learning opportunities that might come with this energy as well. Traveling can bring a feeling of liberation. Mercury is a restless energy, and so is Uranus. So we want to get out of our comfort zone, so to speak. That could be just a day trip away somewhere to go visit a small town nearby, and we have a journey and visit a nursery or a bookshop that we love in a distant town or something like that. Or we might actually jump on a plane and travel somewhere quite significant. But it's all about freedom and a feeling of liberation and a feeling of getting out of the ordinary day-to-day routine that we really crave. So that can happen on the 18th as well. If you're feeling the impetus to go visit somebody or catch up with someone, then do it under this energy. It's a blessed, supportive energy for catching up with people who, might live a couple of hours from you or something like that, and taking a trip. We can also find that our thought processes, which are represented by Mercury, are switched to genius level. We're getting, radical insights, aha moments, the light bulb goes on. We're getting downloads that are, really quite profound. We might see a lot of synchronicities in our world, or it's not that we're getting more synchronicities occurring in the world around us. It's more that our mind is recognizing the synchronicities that are commonly always there. I had something like this happen. I'll give you an example this week where a person that, I love very dearly passed away, and I've been helping to clean his clothing and get it in a presentable state to be stored or kept, or whatever we're going to end up doing with it. And one of his shirts was a beautiful pink and white striped shirt, and it's just a beautiful shirt. And I walked into a shop, just a regular, like, it's Cotton On in Australia, which is like your regular kind of clothing outlet store. I walked into the shop, and lo and behold, there was a rack of pink and white striped shirts just sitting there. And I was like, what is this trying to tell me? Like, I haven't seen a shirt like this since the 1980s. And here is, which is what my friend's shirt was from that era. Here was a whole rack of them, identical, same fabric and everything. I'm like, whoa, here is some synchronicity. So that's an example there. What it means, I don't quite know. Feel free to suggest what it might mean. Maybe he's just communicating with me from the other side, perhaps. But that's the kind of thing, we're seeing synchronicities that ordinarily we wouldn't put two and two together or notice them, but there's something about the 18th where it's like, ching, the light bulb is switched on and we're getting it. We're seeing the synchronicities. We're recognizing those things that, maybe have a message for us from spirit. Now, also with this energy, if you've got a problem to solve, this energy has your back. It's logical. It is quite practical as well. We get clear insights and a detached mental approach. And when we have that perspective, it can clear the road in front of us to move forward and, solve certain issues that might be present in our lives. So the 18th is going to be quite a lovely energy. And you can consider a day before or a day after as well. These energies will be quite potently felt around, that time. Then on the 21st of December, Jupiter down here moves into the sign of Aries. So he's done a bit of a retrograde back into Pisces since October, I think it was. And now he's turned direct and moving out of Pisces. Won't be there for another 12 years. So big boo-hoo for all of we Piscean people who are ruled by Jupiter and aren't going to see our ruling planet back in our sign for another 12 years. I do find, though, every 12 years I go through hell. Whenever Jupiter's in my first house, I'm like, not sad to see him go. You would think it would bring about blessing, wouldn't you? But lo and behold, not so much. And just on that topic, I do find my observation of Jupiter, the great benefic in astrology, is more that he is a protector. I think, with Jupiter, it's a case of if Jupiter was not in a certain position, things could be so much worse. And that's how he functions in the solar system. He catches many stray comets and asteroids, and they get sucked into his big, magnetic pull. And so they don't come through to the central area of the solar system, sort of Mars, Earth, Venus, and Mercury vicinity, because Jupiter is protecting us from all these stray, cosmic bits and pieces. And that's what I think Jupiter does in our lives. We don't recognize it. We don't see it so clearly because, we're expecting certain things to happen for us and life to go a certain way, and it doesn't. But hey, if Jupiter hadn't been there, being the great benefic, protecting us, we could have had it so much worse. And we just don't see how much worse it could have been, Hope you understand what I'm meaning there. So, that's my understanding of, even though Jupiter's given me a bit of a rough trot the last few times he's traveled through my first house, I actually do believe he is protecting me from things that could have been far more dire. Okay, but back to Jupiter moving through Aries. What's going to happen when Jupiter's in Aries? Well, when Jupiter's in Aries, the power of optimistic thinking because Jupiter is optimistic thinking, joins with the fire sign of impulsiveness, youthful, let's go get 'em kind of attitudes. So it's wonderful energy for accomplishing a lot of things. We've got the get up and go, we've got the ability to instigate new things, and we're thinking glass half full. This is going to work out. This is going to be positive. Anything could happen. Hurrah, let's go get it. That's the kind of energy we kind of tap into when Jupiter's in Aries. Jupiter loves it in fire signs, actually, because of that beautiful combination of optimism and creativity that comes with Jupiter in fire signs. And because both of these energies, well, not so much Jupiter actually, but because Aries is a fast sign, a cardinal sign, it brings quick and even instantaneous results of blessing into our life. You know, our positivity, our upbeat attitude, our high vibration brings quick, instantaneous results in Aries. So yay. Under this influence, we can attract more positivity into our life, more opportunities into our lives. But when we take the initiative to bring things about, it's not about sitting back on the couch and twiddling our thumbs and waiting for, you know, good stuff to land in our lap. It's about instigating and taking initiative. Then we see positivity. Then we see opportunities manifest. When we do things with independence and autonomy, we see blessings start to flow into our lives too, while Jupiter is here in Aries. Enthusiasm and courage really pay dividends during this transit as well. So tap into your enthusiasm. What makes you excited? What makes you feel like you're going to be, you know, Flash Gordon taking on the world, you know, fulfilling your mission? Well, you know, whatever gives you that feeling, that's where you need to put your energy and your action. Now, if you want to know more about Jupiter through the sign of Aries and how it relates to you in terms of whole sign house placement, then check out my Jupiter Through the Houses playlist for how it might impact your life on a personal level. That's available on my YouTube page, on the homepage for YouTube, Kesenya More YouTube. There is a list of Jupiter Through the Houses, and just go to your house and you'll be able to figure out what Jupiter is going to bring you when he travels through Aries, through until I think it's next May he's going to be in Aries, and then he's going to jump on into Taurus. We'll talk about that next May. Then on December the 22nd, okay, things steam up now. Happy birthday to Capricorn. The sun, where are we? The sun moves into Capricorn on the 22nd. So what does it mean, firstly, when the sun is in Capricorn? Well, we now find that we want to identify ourselves. The sun is how we identify ourselves. It's I am whatever. And in Capricorn, we're identifying ourselves with accomplishment and success. I am successful. I am accomplished. I am striving towards greater achievement. Sun in Capricorn. So we find that we can identify more with what we want to accomplish and succeed at. We tend to be able to take another step up in the social ladder during the month of the sun is here in Capricorn. We earn our successes now through perseverance, through determination, and through good old-fashioned hard work. And as we do, it brings in a sense of satisfaction for having mastered the material world just a wee bit more and created usually something valuable for the long term. The sun is creativity, or one aspect of creativity, creativity that sort of speaks to here am I, this is who I am, and this I'm putting my mark on the world. And when we do that now during the sun's travel through Capricorn, whatever we put our mark on with our identity, it's going to last generally for the long term, and it's going to be more solid for an extended period of time. Okay, so it's a time when we put ourselves out. We can, if we are inclined to do so, put ourselves out there in the world, knowing that it's going to have an impact in some way that will extend forward into the future. It's time to also accept our responsibilities while the sun is in the dutiful sign of Capricorn, to plan for the long term and to view our lives with more pragmatism and more realism in the month ahead. We're not sort of floating off into fantasy land and, you know, unrealistic ideals that don't have our feet planted on the ground. It's about, okay, well, this is realistically what I want to accomplish and how I want to, you know, put my mark on the world. How am I going to get there? I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, going to do this, take this step, that step, and I'm going to actually, you know, feet on the ground, start working towards those ends of whatever it is we want to achieve. So what do you want to achieve? What do you want to do that's going to put your mark, your imprint on the world? It's time for assessing that. You know, what is it that I want to achieve and accomplish? What is success to me? And then work out a plan towards achieving whatever that might be for you. Now, I want to talk a bit more about this, because this is what causes winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, summer solstice in the southern hemisphere. Because when the sun moves to 0 degrees of Capricorn, it's actually by declination at the degree of the Tropic of Capricorn. And it sits there for 3 days, and then it starts to journey back towards 0 degrees of Cancer, which is the Tropic of Cancer, funnily enough. So solstices occur when the sun is at 0 degrees of Capricorn or 0 degrees of Cancer, and equinoxes occur when the sun is at the halfway point between those two tropics, which is when the sun is at 0 degrees of Libra or 0 degrees of Aries. So this is solstice, okay? Sun at 0 degrees of Capricorn. Now, whenever we have the sun ingressing into a solstice point or an equinox point, we are actually setting up a chart for the next 3 months to 6 months. And it tells us what's going to happen in the world in mundane astrology and financial astrology and weather astrology. I mean, like all the big earth-encompassing astrology fields. We look at the ingress charts into solstice and equinox points to tell us what's coming up in the world going ahead. This is mundane astrology. I don't usually talk about that here. Something I discuss in the Royal Stars Academy, but I don't usually talk about it here because this is a personal astrology reading, as those who follow my work are well familiar with. But let me just briefly mention about this particular chart for the ingress of the sun into Capricorn. There's going to be 4 planets out of bounds: Mars, Venus, Mercury, and the Moon, all out of bounds for this ingress chart. And this ingress chart heralding solstice, we can expect at the very least, because of these out of bounds planets, a continuation of the unusual weather patterns we've been seeing across the planet, particularly here in Australia, I might add. We can probably expect that we're still going to be on a bit of a financial roller coaster, similar to what we've been subjected to over the past 6 months. And we can also, I hate to say it, my dear friends, because this is disappointing to me as it will be, I'm sure, to you, but we can expect that we're going to continue to experience extremes in our personal life experiences going forward, at least until equinox, when the sun ingresses into Aries. So it's not an easy chart because of so many planets being beyond the declination of the sun. The planets, they want to purify us of our heavy karma, basically, at this point in human history. In fact, I've heard from a lot of my very spiritual practitioner friends that there's no more karma being created on the planet. The earth can't handle any more karma being created. We are in a process of having to face and purify all our old laundry, our old karma. And so all the old things from many past lives, if you don't believe in past lives, you might consider them from perhaps early on in this life, all the old, karmic loops we're running in our head and attitudes and self-sabotaging behaviors, they're all coming up for us to address and purify, and that is no easy job. Hence, a lot of us have been through an absolute shit show in 2022. Now, as we enter into this ingress chart with so many planets out of bounds at once, and it's such a key chart going forward, these planets are saying we're going to do whatever we have to do to get the job done, to purify this karma, to release these karmic cycles that so many people have been caught in and trapped in. And now it may not be easy. Obviously, this work is not easy work, but I want to encourage you to take action. I mean, it's a cardinal sign. Cardinal signs are, all about doing. Surround yourself with like-minded love, like-minded support. And for some people that might mean having to, put the foot down and cut out people who are not loving, who are not supportive, who are divisive, who are aggressive, who are not bringing peace and joy into your life. That's a hard thing to do sometimes, especially if they're, family members or close, partners or whatever. So it may not be easy, but if you want to, survive going forward in this purification process, it's really quite a good idea to surround yourself as best you can with love and support and to cut out the things that are not giving you love and support. Make sure you have some healthy practices for self-care and self-nurturance at the ready if the shit hits the fan. Continually protect yourself with visualizations and your highest intentions. I'm practicing, I'm going through the most horrible grief at the moment, and as such, my vibration is probably quite low, and I have to protect myself every day by visualizing a force field around me of protection, you know, and divine love surrounding me. And that's just a practice I need to include as part of my daily routine to get through this heavy time of purification. I just want to encourage you to consider doing similar practices yourself so that you can journey through this. We can journey through it together, you know, with as much of a high vibration as we can bring about. Okay, that's what I wanted to mention about the sun's ingress into Capricorn. But solstice itself, well, really solstice is a time to celebrate. It is. And that's why we celebrate Christmas at this time, because on the 22nd of December, the sun hits 0 degrees of Capricorn. And as I said, it's at the declination of the Tropic of Capricorn, where it will sit for 3 days and then start to retrace its steps. And, you know, what's 3 days after the 22nd of December? 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. That's why we celebrate Christmas on the 25th, because it's when the sun starts to move forward again after standing still at that declination. So that's why we celebrate. It's new momentum. It's a change in direction. It's a reorientation of our lives that is represented by this energetic shift. So what are you doing to celebrate solstice this year? A winter bonfire in the Northern Hemisphere? A beachside picnic in the Southern Hemisphere? Wherever you are in the world, this is a precious time to remember the movement of the sun between these two tropic points. And remember that life moves in cycles and seasons. You know, we constantly, every solstice, redirection our lives and change our momentum in some way. And that's good news to me, because it reminds us that change is a part of life, growth is a part of life, and they are ever with us. We are never stuck, even though we feel stuck sometimes. I'm hanging out for this because I want to get out of this energy of heaviness that I've been in and just change it somehow or other. So, you know, bring it on. Even if it does mean more purification process and work, I want to move forward, you know, I want to stop being at this stuck point. Now, at solstice, the Southern Hemisphere experiences its longest day and the Northern Hemisphere begins its gradual move back. It's going to take a long time, but its gradual move back to the warm, lazy days of summer. So at this time, we realize we have so much to be thankful for as we mark off another milestone around our beautiful star, our sun. Now, this for many people, the 22nd of December solstice, is far more important as an energetic date than the new year is. You know, New Year doesn't correspond to anything astrological or anything energetic at all. It's just a calendar date. So if you're like me, you might like to set your New Year intentions on the 22nd of December. Do a ceremony, pray, meditate on what you would like to achieve or who you would simply like to be in 2023. Or you might just want to celebrate and have fun now. In my opinion, New Year is a meaningless celebration on the 1st of January, other than that we turn over the page in the calendar, if you're still old school and use a calendar like I do. But the 22nd of December means an energetic shift, an energetic change of direction. It's the new year. In that sense, because we're at solstice, we also celebrate astrological New Year at the equinox when the sun ingresses into Aries. So you can choose either as your New Year celebration energetically. I use both. Why not? But this one is particularly important, I feel, because the sun is changing direction, whereas the sun doesn't change direction in terms of declination when it enters into 0 degrees of Aries. Okay? It's still traveling in the same direction. This, to me, is far more important. It's a complete redirectioning of energy. And so for me, New Year is coming up on the 22nd of December. All right, also on the 22nd of December, we're going to have the sun at 0 degrees of Capricorn, and over here, Jupiter is at 0 degrees of Aries. That makes a square between these two cardinal signs. Now, squares are heavy aspects, but even though this is a heavy aspect, it can still bring good things into the world. The only thing we've got to be careful of whenever Jupiter's involved in a hard aspect like this is a dose of too much people around you. People might be just feeling more upbeat under this energy, and we all get a blessing when that's happening, don't we? When we're, the vibes are happy and wind up regretting our overindulgences. So if you're going to celebrate, solstice or energetic new year, don't go over the top. This is also an energy going forward that we're going to be experiencing in the next 6 months because it's part of the ingress chart. So, it's going to be something, practicing contentment in all circumstances, wherever you can, and work with that energy to the best of your advantage. Enjoy, but don't have overblown expectations, I would say. Now, also on the 22nd of December, and therefore also part of this ingress chart, we have Venus trine Uranus. So here is Venus down here, just hot on the heels of Mercury there. I will draw another line. I hope I can draw it neatly. I like my neat drawings, but that's not so flash. There we go. Venus trining Uranus at 15 degrees on the 22nd of December, solstice day as well. Wowzers, there is no room for boredom on the 22nd of December. We want all the shiny good things that life has to offer, and we don't want to wait. We want it now. Cha-ching, click. Like Uranus is the quickest energy in the horoscope. It is so fast. It's instantaneous that it sort of, knocks the wind out of us. It's that quick. But it's all good. This isn't the frustrated kind of energy that we see with a hard aspect, but rather it's the spontaneous, passionate energy that has us, grabbing our partners for a good long 10-second kiss. It's gorgeous. I love this energy. And so this is a great energy to be carrying forward in the ingress chart for the solstice. We feel sociable. We feel playful now. We feel willing to experiment by taking an interest in other people or trying an unusual dish of food in some random ass restaurant that we come across when we're walking down the street. It's exciting. New love can come into people's lives because of this, all of a sudden, or stimulation for old love is very possible too. Even kinky or strange scenarios can present themselves, all in the name of fun and pleasure, of course. This is not a harmful energy, it is a blessed energy, but it's about getting it on in new and exciting ways. So, blessing there. I would encourage you all to use this energy by getting creative under this influence. You might even discover a bohemian side of yourself that you've been, itching to put energy into. I would say give it room, give it space, set it free, get, your paints out, get your artistic self happening, or your fashion design skills, or, reinvent your image in some way, or your style in some way. Like, this is what Uranus quirky, getting out of a rut energy is all about. It's about liberation, it's about freedom, and it's about being authentic to your creative and beautiful self. So that is a super energy that we're carrying forward into the next 6 months with the ingress chart, and I'm going to be talking about that energy and what it will mean for us all individually in the all signs breakdown. Then finally on the 23rd of December we have the new moon down here in Capricorn, straight after the solstice. So this solstice is a potent one. It really, really is. There's just so much interesting and powerful energy being involved in this ingress chart. But I will be talking for my Patreon family members all about this moon conjunct sun in the first degree of Capricorn. That's available on my Patreon channel, this special Christmas new moon. You don't want to miss that. Join the Patreon family if you want the forecast for all signs and how that might affect you. So let's kick off the all signs breakdown, which we've all been waiting for, with, naturally, Capricorn going first, because it's very strongly Capricorn season, my friends. As you can see, we have Pluto, Mercury, Venus hiding behind the arrow there. We have the sun and the moon all coming together for solstice in the sign of Capricorn. Very intense focus on Capricorn energy. So when we have Uranus trine to Venus, that's the topic we're looking at in this week's astro weather breakdown. It means that there's going to be something that shakes you out of a rut with your physical image. You know, how you might be redefining your fashion sense, getting a bit more bohemian maybe, or buying a few new clothing pieces that might be a bit eccentric or quirky for you. You wouldn't usually buy those sorts of things. Maybe it's a brighter color, maybe it's a different style. You'll be feeling quite spontaneous about your shopping for the body, for the self, to beautify the self in some way. So let's kick off the all signs breakdown, which we've all been waiting for, with, naturally, Capricorn going first, because it's very strongly Capricorn season, my friends. As you can see, we have Pluto, Mercury, Venus hiding behind the arrow there. We have the Sun and the Moon all coming together for solstice in the sign of Capricorn. Very intense focus on Capricorn energy. So when we have Uranus trine to Venus, that's the topic we're looking at in this week's astro weather breakdown. It means that there's going to be something that shakes you out of a rut with your physical image. How you might be redefining your fashion sense, getting a bit more bohemian maybe, or buying a few new clothing pieces that might be a bit eccentric or quirky for you. You wouldn't usually buy those sorts of things. Maybe it's a brighter color, maybe it's a different style. You'll be feeling quite spontaneous about your shopping for the body, for the self, to beautify the self in some way. You might also be experiencing more spontaneous and very pleasurable events around the 23rd of December, 22nd, 23rd of December as well. It is a time, naturally, because it's Christmas time, for being sociable and having more fun, but this energy will amplify that and put an emphasis on that for you guys this year. Also, I feel that you will be, usually with Uranus-Venus interactions, it can bring very interesting people across our path. But I feel like you're going to be the interesting one that other people find captivating. Other people find, quirky. You might be quirky by nature, but other people might perceive you that way. They might see you as being someone unique in your opinions, or very authentic in your style, or your presence, or your aura is very real. And that might really, you might really change other people's lives. You could be the influencing force, Capricorn, that really shakes up other people in some blessed way, in a way that empowers them. What a gift to be that angel of light, if you like, in the lives of others. And my two very close friends who've just been my backbone this year both have strong Capricorn placements. So, I fully expect that they will be there for me going forward into the week ahead. Thank God for them. So they are going to be our interesting life changer people, our Capricorn sun, moon, or rising people. You will feel like there's some sort of positive change unfolding this week, and excitement in the air, which is great because the energy has been really heavy, and Capricorn people have been very conscious and aware of this. They're going to be really, tuning in to the shift and the change that I've spoken about in the introduction. Capricorn people are going to be the ones who are like, I can really feel the energetic shift that's unfolded, that's coming. Now, Capricorn, you might be getting more intuition, more flashes of insight that lead you to self-discovery, revelations about yourself, revelations about your journey, about your karma, about who you are. Expect that you will have epiphanies, because this energy is going to bring them to you in a most blessed way. It's like suddenly the mind clears, suddenly you receive enlightenment, suddenly you're more perceptive now, and it opens up the way for you to understand, okay, how do I go forward into the next 6 months? How can I get be more authentic, be more true, be more real about myself moving forward? It's also a good time for you, my Capricorn friends, to take a risk in love or finance. Now, obviously, it very much depends on the nature of your natal chart and how these planets are interacting with your natal chart. But as a general read, it's time for taking a risk. Maybe your husband you felt very distant from, or you're just not seeing eye to eye. Take a risk. Write him a love letter, or do something really unusual that's not your usual style, to interact and take that risk in your love relationship. Or if you're single, maybe it's time for taking a risk and getting out of your comfort zone by going and joining that philosophy group in town, or maybe joining a dance class. Venus is dance, after all. Go and get involved in something that's sort of stepping out of your comfort zone that may lead you to finding more love. Financial risk as well is represented by Venus too, but it is in the sign of Capricorn, so I do encourage you to not do stupid things. Be a little bit conservative and look at investments or financial risks that are going to be rewarding in the long term rather than instantaneous rewards, okay? You will want to shake things up, Capricorn. You will be feeling like, I want to get out of an old routine. Even though Capricorn likes to associate itself with tradition and the past, this Uranus influence in a positive way is saying, there's some things in the past I really want to let go of that really don't serve me, that are holding me back, and I want to get out of that old habit, that old routine. So it's a good time to change your old habits and renew and refresh yourself to move forward. Let's face it, not all traditions are good. Not all old practices are for our best. So maybe you could do a review of where you're clinging to the past and it's not serving you under this influence. Also, Uranus represents anything to do with the media and the internet. So if you have any involvement with the media and the internet, it can really flourish, Capricorn. Your social media accounts might grow. You might be blessed like me and, hit the 20,000 subscriber mark that you've been aiming for a while on whatever platform. Hopefully you're well ahead of 20,000 viewers or subscribers. I hope you're doing abundantly well. But yes, there can be a flourishing of something to do with the internet or social media. In fact, it would be a good energy, a good time to launch a YouTube channel or launch a website or something like that. There can also be increases to your social circle, just expanding your friendships, your networks, your contacts because of Uranus-Venus interaction as well. So that's what I'm getting for our beautiful Capricorn rising sun and moon people. I'm so thankful that you have been with me on my journey to 20,000 subscribers, Capricorn. And as such, just want to remind you, there's $100 off my Astro Wheels for the next week. Go to the Astro shop on the website to make sure you catch get your edition of the Astro Wheel. Also, want to mention, my introductory level for the Royal Stars Academy is going on sale for $500 off. That's a huge amount off the usual price. Go to the link in the description below. Don't miss out. Join the Royal Stars Academy and come and study astrology with me. And I want to mention also that my new moon report for new moon in Capricorn is going up this week for my Patreon family if you want to find out what this moon has in store for you. Thank you, my beautiful Capricorn friends. All right. Now we're moving. Who have we got next on my little list here? Okay, Aquarius comes next. Aquarius rising, sun or moon friends. If you've got a stellium in Aquarius, you could even consider that as well. A stellium is 4 or more planets in a single sign. Some people think 3. I work with the idea of 4 or more planets. So if you're that, you could be looking at Aquarius as well, or any sign that you have a stellium in, obviously. So this is a 12th house energy, and this is 12th house energy. Venus is in the 12th house being activated by Uranus this week. And therefore, we might find that there are some messages coming through from our ancestors, from our past loved ones, anyone who's crossed over. They might be trying to speak to us now, and they might be trying to speak to us through some unusual means, maybe a song, Venus, or music. They might be trying to speak to us through a smell of some sort of food, where maybe, we catch I know my beloved who's passed away loved cooking Mexican food, and you might catch a whiff of some jambalaya or some Cajun, not Mexican food, Louisiana style Cajun food. You might catch a whiff of some jambalaya or some gumbo or something like that, and it's like, oh, that just brings back memories. So there can be connections with people who've crossed over, or the past, or the other dimensions, the other realms behind the veil, speaking to you now through some Venusian energy, connecting with you, contacting you through a Venusian energy. The ancestors on the other side, angels and higher beings, now trying to communicate some sort of positive message with you, positive understanding, positive truth that it's going to enable you to be more authentic in your own life. Maybe they're trying to tell you, hey, you need to change this about yourself, or you need to believe this concept so that you can liberate Uranus, liberate yourself, set yourself free from the self-sabotaging or the limiting behaviors. I really feel for many of you this is going to be a family member, because Uranus is in the house of family, and our genetic heritage, our lineage, and Venus is up here in the sign that the house that has to do with ancestors that have departed and angels and higher beings. So definitely messages coming through from departed family members and loved ones for our Aquarius friends. There can be some positive karma coming from this energy for our Aquarius friends that you might even see playing out over the next 6 months as well, because this is a positive interaction. It's like your grandmother or departed parents or whatever, like they're holding space for you, they're protecting you, they're keeping you safe with what's going to unfold in the next 6 months here. Positive karma and protection from those who've crossed over. Now, I will also say that there's going to be a really big increase for our Aquarian friends in terms of the level of intuition and flashes of insight, channelings, prophecy, like just knowing what's going to happen. You just get a sense of things that's going to unfold for you. And really, I'm getting a sense of protection with this, to be honest. Not that either of these planets are particularly associated with protection, but I'm feeling that energy for you. For example, I've stopped doing readings in September. It was like my higher self knew I'm not going to cope with doing readings in about 4 months' time. And I feel that was a protection from my higher self, or the divine beings that, my guardian angels and so forth, just making sure I was going to be okay by not, by having the mental and emotional space I was going to need when shit went down. So there is this inner knowing. Now, I've given you a rather heavy example because that's what happened in my life, but for you it's likely to be something really beautiful where there's a protection that you might not even realize is to your advantage until you get down the road a little way. So pay attention to any signs, any omens that you get, any intuitive feelings that you have, and even any forebodings. If you feel something's not right for you, it's not right for you. Trust your gut, trust your intuition, trust your subconscious promptings under this energy. This is a moksha house. In fact, both of these houses are moksha houses. So there's definitely some liberation, some letting of things go that is unfolding with this. And it will happen suddenly. It will happen, out of the blue. It will happen like that. Venus rules, is the dispositor of Uranus here. So it's going to be a very powerful, blessed combination for moving into liberation, moving into authenticity, moving into truth by releasing something, letting something go. And I want to encourage you to practice acceptance, Capricorn, Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising friends, in order to get the benefits out of this. It's alchemy when we can accept the transformation, the change that's wanting to happen that leads us into liberation and truth. Now, in a practical sense, just to conclude, Aquarius, you may be having some rather exciting dreams, vivid dreams, beautiful dreams that leave you feeling like, oh, don't wake me up. I just want to stay here. This is wonderful. Those lovely dreams we can get. You might be having a surprise and unexpected chance to experience some sort of fantasy or experience, like, dress up if you're into that sort of thing, or some sort of, retreat to a day spa. Someone might come to you and say, hey, I've got a free ticket to this resort. Do you want to, come and join me for this retreat weekend? And you're like, yeah, I do. Holidays and fun, escapist times, things that don't normally happen for us in everyday life. So even going to sort of some secluded place like, a resort, or spending time in a monastery or a yoga retreat or something like that might suddenly be on the cards unexpectedly. You didn't see it coming, and there it is. That can also happen with this combination in a very unexpected way. I don't see anything negative coming with this, I've got to say. Usually this is a house of secrets or hidden enemies or persecution and martyrdom, but Uranus is really blessing this interaction. So I feel that it's only good things, only good messages, only good opportunities, only intuitive blessing and protection that's coming through. So lots of good stuff in store for our Aquarius friends. I want to thank you all for joining me on this journey to achieving 20,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And to celebrate Aquarius, I'm offering $100 off my Astro Wheels only for 1 week. So just head to the Astro shop and get your Astro Wheel for $100 off. Also need to point out that my introductory level for the Royal Stars Academy is going on sale from the solstice, from 22nd of December until the end of January, $500 off the usual price. Such a great deal. Head to the link in the description below. You don't want to miss out. And if you're a Patreon member, know that this week you're going to have a very interesting all signs report and forecast for you, all about the new moon in Capricorn that is occurring at solstice. Very, very exciting. Thank you, my gorgeous Aquarian friends. Now, Pisces rising, sun or moon people. Precious, precious Pisces. We are precious. We've got to, we always tend to go last in things, Pisces, and put other people before ourselves. We've got to honor how special we are, don't we? Okay, so on the 22nd of December, which is solstice, we're having a Uranus trine to Venus here, and this is being felt in our 11th house, which is a great house. It's a blessed house. It's a house of rewards. So we might find that we are getting some sort of very pleasurable social events unfolding for us around the 22nd of December. So might be going to a big concert. In fact, this is exactly what's happened for me. A very dear friend who knows how hard things have been in the last few weeks just contacted me and said, hey, I've got a spare ticket to go see Keith Urban. And I'm like, yes, I'm there. That's my Christmas present to myself. So around the, not sure what the actual date is. I think it's around the 22nd. We're going to go and see Keith Urban performing. Yay! So yeah, big concert, big places where lots of people gather. That's what this energy is. So you might be going to a big fancy concert or experiencing some music event. Venus is music that's happened suddenly and unexpectedly. You didn't see it coming, and all of a sudden you've got this ticket to something like that. Sociable events, big parties, celebrations. I mean, it's that time of year anyway, isn't it, when that sort of thing happens? So you can expect more of that sort of thing coming your way. There might be some sort of, now if you're looking, Pisces, for a third life partner, not first, not second, but third committed life partner, someone you have kids with, someone you tie the knot with, someone you enter into a contract with, if you're looking for your third life partner, then this is an energy for bringing about some sort of sudden, unexpected love that could be of a committed variety. Now, it's going to happen either suddenly and unexpectedly, and it will either stick with you for the long term, Capricorn, or Uranus can bring sort of sometimes many sort of quick and fast kind of things, like dating someone for 1 week, no, that's not the one for me, then dating someone else the next week, oh yep, that, oh no, hang on, no, that's not for me, and so you can go through a few quick and fast. Let's hope it's more, look, depends on what you enjoy and what floats your boat, but I prefer like someone coming in suddenly and unexpectedly and delightedly who lasts the long term if you're looking for a third life partner. Not a second, not a first, third life partner. And if that's the case, it's actually a really good time for taking a risk in love and romance too, if you're a Pisces person. Getting out of your comfort zone, maybe buying a cocktail for that gorgeous woman at the bar or something like that, and getting out of your self-imposed limitations regarding love. It can be really worthwhile. You're really wanting to shake things up and get out of a rut, get out of an old routine, and that includes out of a rut and out of an old routine with friendships, social circles, who you're mixing with. You might completely change things up. But also it can mean that you might be wanting to get out of a rut with how you're earning money, how you're being profitable, how you're being gainful in life. Maybe you've always done it this way. And along comes this energy and says, you know what, that's not cutting the mustard anymore. Let's, over the next 6 months, let's change things up and try and bring in something new, maybe a new job, or maybe we start a side hustle. This is the house of the side hustle down here, third house. Let's get profitable, get gainful through something exciting, something different, something new, something that feels like liberation, something that feels like authenticity, something that feels like truth to us. So it's a good time to change old habits regarding what you do to create profit and gain in your life. So that's definitely on the cards as well. You might choose to get involved in some way with the media, or if you're already involved with social media like I am. This is sort of the house of social media here and the house of the internet up here. And this is a beautiful, positive, blessed connection that's going to be active for about 6 months. It could see a sudden, like, I'm going to use me as an example because I've just hit 20,000 subscribers. Who knows? In the next 6 months, I might get to 30,000, like overnight. Uranus is that sudden, that's surprising, and it's connecting with your third house lord here. Third house is social media, in the house of the internet. Seriously, Pisces, if you work on social media or the internet in some way, you can see these things absolutely flourish for you and create more reward for you, create more gainfulness for you in a way that maybe you haven't experienced before. So this can be extremely full of blessing for you if you operate in those circles. Also, the stock market is connected to this 11th house as well. So there could be sudden profits, sudden gains that you didn't see coming, unexpected ones. If you are looking to invest in things to do with the stock market, though, I would encourage you, even though Uranus is involved, I would still encourage you to look at things for the long term. You're in Capricorn here, okay? So nothing to, you want to make it overnight gain kind of a thing, unless you're well experienced in doing that sort of stuff. I would say go for something that's a bit more blue chip, long term kind of investment. And you can suddenly decide, like I don't deal with the stock market very much. I might suddenly decide, you know what, I'm going to buy these stocks. I just got the impetus, just got the intuition to invest in these particular stocks that are going to be sort of sitting there, and I'm going to let them sit there for the next 12 years, and then we'll see where I'm at, sort of long-term gains here. Okay, so this is also an Upachaya house, and things are going to get better and better, I feel, for our Pisces friends. I'm so happy to be saying this, over the next 6 months. So, sudden experiences in love or sudden experiences in money that are going to lead to more long-term success, Capricorn, long-term blessing, long-term growth, an Upachaya house. Things get better and better and better. So things will happen suddenly, but they're going to last, they're going to stick, and they're going to go forward and increase in the long term. The 11th house is our house of dreams and ambitions and desires and wishes. How can we achieve what we want in the world? And we can do that through taking a risk, getting out of our rut, getting out of the way we've always done things, and changing up our old habits and behaviors, getting out of self-sabotaging and starting to live in more authenticity and truth and what's real for us, and following our heart. So big changes that can lead to more success with your dreams and goals, my beautiful Pisces friends. Now, I just want to mention before I go, I'm so thankful that you, my Pisces beloved friends, have traveled with me on this climb to achieving 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. And to thank you for being here, I am offering my Astro Wheel on sale for $100 off at the Astro Shop, only for the next week. Head to the link in the description below to go purchase your own Astro Wheel. Also, I want to mention that from December Solstice, my Royal Stars Academy introductory level is going to be on sale. And that's going to be on sale to the end of January only. and it's $500 off the usual price. This is a bargain. Head to the link in the description below. Don't miss out. Come and study astrology with me. Also, I want to mention, if you are a Patreon family member, you are getting this week a very interesting all signs forecast for the new moon in Capricorn, which is also a big part of this solstice configuration. You don't want to miss this report. Join the Patreon family if you haven't done so already. Thank you, Pisces. Aries rising, Aries sun, Aries moon people. Well, this is, let me get that right there. It's going to stay all on its own, very independent of Aries, as always. We're looking at the trine that's forming around solstice, 22nd of December, between Uranus and Venus. So what this is meaning for you is, well, the 10th house is going to be the house that this is particularly activated in. And the 10th house is our example to others. I really see you Aries people as, stepping into your authenticity, stepping into your true self. And when you do, that's going to be an inspiration to others. People are going to see you being real, being fully yourself, fully in your power. And they're going to be like, that guy, that girl, I want to be like that. I want to be, the influencer, the popular person, the person who's changing the world, 10th house, in the way they are with their authenticity and truth. You're an example to others through your being real, my friends. If you're involved in a career that has to do with the internet or social media in any way, then I really see you flourishing, maybe stepping up in career, maybe getting an opportunity come to you, or a new project or a new client that's really valuable coming your way, Aries. So lots of positivity and growth for career if you're in those realms. Also, if you work in realms of science or realms that have to do, some sort of career that has to do with beauty, art, culture, in some way also. You might be given more leadership opportunities all of a sudden, more responsibilities all of a sudden as well, particularly if you have any responsibility to young women. Let's say you are somebody who's my age and you're in a corporate career, let's say, for example, you might suddenly be given the role of mentoring some young women at your workplace. That could happen with this combination, because this is a house of leadership and responsibilities. So, suddenly that happens, and it could actually shake you out of a rut with your job, with your career, to do so. So if you're given that chance, if you're offered the opportunity to be a mentor to others, particularly to young women, take that opportunity. This is a gift from the universe for you, that's going to really help liberate you and free you in the long term going forward. The 10th house represents what we need to do to gain more respect and more success in our lives. And so coming up for the next 6 months, this is going to be active because it's part of the ingress chart for the solstice. Uranus, trine to Venus, is saying be sociable, be spontaneous, be playful, love life. And these things are going to help you get more public approval, get more respect, and create more success in your life overall. Connect with interesting, authentic people, maybe bohemian people, artists, people who think outside the box, people who may be a bit rebellious, people who are anarchist type people. And I see anarchist as a beautiful word. I don't see it as causing trouble. I see it as people who are liberated and living in their sovereignty. And connecting with those sorts of people, trying to understand those sorts of people, can be part of what you need to do to achieve more success in the world. Also, Venus is the natural world. It's nature. Getting in touch with sort of bohemian people who love nature, connecting with nature, living in rhythm with nature. That's what this is, a beautiful energy representing, sort of the bohemian lifestyle, the people who are, like, I would say almost, going back to the pagan roots, which is working with the cycles of nature rather than lost in the head. even though Uranus is a very mental sign. It's in the sign of Taurus, ruled by Venus, also sitting in an earth sign here. I think really getting in touch with nature is part of what is going to lift you up going forward for the next 6 months, my gorgeous Aries friends. So, reach out, get involved in those sorts of things. Take a risk, take action. You're very good at that, Aries. Take a risk and take action with love or finance, Venus things. Trust your intuition. That's going to help create more success for you. And this intuition can lead to a great deal of self-discovery and growth as well. Get on the internet, get on social media if you haven't been already, to do your work and create more public visibility and approval. I highly recommend that under this influence going forward as well. If you can manage to get out of an old sort of traditional routine that's not serving you, an old traditional mindset or a habit that's holding you back, then work towards that end this month. Not just this month, I should say, going forward for the next 6 months, because it's those things, liberating you, getting out of a rut, that's going to set you free to be able to have more success, popularity, recognition out there in society, in the world. So thank you, my beautiful Aries friends. I'm so thankful that you've traveled with me on this climb to reaching 20,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And to say thank you, I am offering my Astro Wheel on sale for the next week only, just for 1 week, $100 off. So head to the Astro shop if you've always wanted an Astro Wheel. Now they're on sale. So head there and get $100 off to help me celebrate 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. Also, I want to point out my introductory level for the Royal Stars Academy is on sale from Solstice to the end of January. $500 off the usual price. Head to the link in the description below. Come study astrology with me. Don't miss out. This is the sale of the century. Also, if you are a Patreon member, this week going up for you is the report concerning the new moon in Capricorn, which is part of the solstice, and I give a forecast for all signs for my Patreon family members. If you want to know what this particularly potent and powerful ingress new moon is all about and how it's going to affect you, then join me at the Patreon family. All right, Taurus rising, Taurus sun, Taurus moon people. Well, this is a particularly potent energy this week, and we are looking at the connection between Venus, your first house lord, by transit here in Capricorn, connecting with Uranus, who's been crossing your sign for the last few years since 2018. So what's this going to bring you? Well, it's really being felt in the 9th house, the house of communications with the gods. And this is a highly intuitive energy. Trust your gut. Trust those light bulb moments. Trust those flashes of insight that you get now. It's a message from the divine for you. If you're feeling called to, leave a certain job and go to another one, or move house, or leave a social group and join another social group, or change your relationship in some way, whatever you're getting an intuited guidance about, trust it. This energy is powerful and blessed. You're probably going to want to shake up a rut, shake things up and get out of a rut. It's a good time to, perhaps address some belief systems that have become old and worn out, and maybe you're clinging to them because they're what the family's always done, Capricorn, tradition, what you've always been told is right, the right way to behave, the right way to think, the right ethics, the right morals, according to our family, according to our traditions, according to our society. Uranus, trine Venus is saying, let's get authentic with that. Let's get real with that. Let's shake things up so that we're not just repeating the same old, so that our belief systems align with who we really are and who we really want to be. So I'm seeing a lot of shifts and changes in terms of what you align yourself with this week, my beautiful Taurus friends. It's about finding truth and freedom and liberation. And often truth, freedom and liberation in our lived experience starts up here first. By changing how our mind thinks, we change what we experience in life itself. So your old mindsets might be holding you back. This energy is going to help you get out of that stuckness, to give yourself purpose and mission and meaning in life. You might get some intuitive aha moments about what is going to give you purpose, what you need to do to give yourself more meaning, more direction, more hope. Sometimes in life we go through periods where we're like, I just don't have any purpose or meaning or reason for being here. What am I even here for? Well, this can reveal this to you. This energy can say, well, you know what? Finally, I've found my mojo. Finally, I've found my purpose, why I'm here, what I've got to do, the mission that I have. And you can stand there like Flash Gordon, hands on the hips, knowing, hey, this is my journey. This is my direction. This is my mission. Like a superhero, and away you go. The 9th house is also a house of ceremonies and celebrations. So it is, party season after all. But there might be some sort of particularly personal celebration that you're experiencing because Venus rules you personally, the personal house in your chart, Taurus. So it could be that maybe you get a surprise party. Somebody hosts a surprise party for you to say, oh, thanks for being a great friend, or happy birthday, or, we're going to miss you, or something like that. Some personal celebration that's very pertinent to you might be, on the cards, maybe even unexpectedly on the cards for Taurus people. This is also the house of eureka moments, hence, communication with the gods. So this is a time when the insights that come through to you could really change your life. The inner knowing, the inner knowledge is just liberating and freeing for you. So I really think this is an exciting time for Taurus people. I just repeat myself again, but how you feel about yourself within is going to determine what is experienced on the outer. So I'm seeing so much healing with this combination. Liberated healing, powerful healing that comes in an instant for some people because there's just a new awareness, a new knowledge, a new understanding that sets you free. So I'm excited for you. I'm feeling that, I don't know if you're sensing this, Taurus people, but there's positive change and excitement in the air for you because I think you're going to get particularly blessed. There's going to be a blessing that flows your way. I think that you're also very, as I've said, very perceptive now, but it's also because this is the house of blessing, first house lord in the house of blessing. I think it's an excellent time for taking a risk in life. If you've been, thinking, should I sign on the dotted line and, go ahead and buy that house or buy that car or, approach that man that I'm really keen on, taking a risk is supported under this energy. It's blessed under this energy, and the benefits could flow on for the long term. Capricorn, things that last, things that come to stay. So, I feel that with all due common sense, of course, you can take a risk and it can really pay off for you. It might be a spontaneous risk as well with Uranus too. That sort of, all of a sudden you think, that's it, I'm buying that car because my old one's crap and I can't go on this way, and it actually blesses you for the long term. So there can be an increase in your social circle as well with more spiritually minded friends or intelligent friends who are quite genius, quite sort of well-educated friends, I see, suddenly coming into your social circle. Friends with beautiful minds, beautiful ways of thinking, sort of almost angelic friends, I would say, or friends with at least such a forgiving, gracious, generous way of being that I think are going to be a part of your world. You could also end up having at some point over the next 6 months, my beautiful Taurus friends, experiences of other cultures that, you never thought you'd take a trip to the Amalfi Coast, but suddenly someone says, hey, I'm going, do you want to come with me? So experiencing other cultures, long distance travel that comes suddenly your way, and it brings a sense of fun and joy and beauty and blessing, could bring love, could bring more prosperity even into your life as well. Higher learning could also do that for you too. So you might get an opportunity to do some sort of higher learning, come and study astrology with me at the Royal Stars Academy, that comes out of the blue, that brings you to a point of blessing, greater knowledge, greater wisdom, greater understanding. So it could be studying astrology with me through the Royal Stars Academy, or it could be doing a philosophy course, or you might decide you're going to go leave the science course you're doing and go study medicine or something like that. There could be a shift in some sort of higher learning that brings blessing for the long term. Capricorn energy. So that's what I am getting for as a blessing for our beautiful Taurus rising sun or moon friends. Now I want to say thank you for helping me travel and climb to the point of having 20,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And to say thank you, I've got the Astro Wheels on sale only for a week at $100 off. Head to the Astro shop at the website. Don't miss out on getting your own beautiful Astro Wheel. Also, just talking about higher learning, my introductory level for the Royal Stars Academy is going on sale from Solstice to the end of January, and it's $500 off the usual price. Head to the link in the description below. Don't miss this bargain of a lifetime to learn some wonderful astrology with me. Also, if you are a Patreon member, and I know a lot of you are, this week I'm releasing a video with a forecast all about the ingress chart for solstice, and combined with that, the full new moon rather in Capricorn, and what it's going to mean for all signs. So if you're a Patreon member, you can look forward to that one. Thank you, beautiful Taurus friends. Gemini rising, sun or moon people. Well, we're looking at the energy from the 22nd of December between Uranus trining to Venus in your 8th house. So it's a very strong 8th house emphasis for you coming up around solstice. Now, this is going to be interesting because this is a house of renewal, rebirth, renovation, reactivation. So I feel that there's some big life turns around coming your way, Gemini, in the next week, but also could last for the next month actually as well. It could be some fast, because Uranus is fast change, shocking events, dramatic reversals that are getting you busting out of a rut. But it's going to happen easily. It's not going to be something you have to force or battle or climb through. It's just going to be, that's it. It's done. It's over. Let's change things up. Let's turn things around. It's done. So I'm seeing massive change for our beautiful Gemini friends in some way, which is good news if you've been going through a rough trot. We all want a dramatic reversal when things are really hitting the fan, if you know what I mean. So in that sense, it could be good. And I do see it being blessed. I mean, Uranus is sitting in your 12th house of past lives. I think your good karma from past lives is going to be what turns life around for you. You're getting the blessing. You're getting the reward. You're getting the windfall. Windfalls are seen through the 8th house of blessing that is owed you from the past. And certainly because this is a blessed trine, I see your angels and your spirit guides holding space for you to be able to move through whatever change it is that the universe is bringing about. Okay, so I don't want to give you false hope. This is a house, the 8th house is a house of catastrophes and accidents and breakdowns and things like that. It is the house of that, but it's being held by this energy in your 12th house, the divine, your ancestors. They're holding space for you to get through that change in a way that's going to liberate you, make you more authentic, set you free. Uranus is to set free. I love doing readings around Uranus because he is such a beautiful planet to my mind. Yeah, crazy making. But he's really about setting you free. And sometimes we're set free through upheaval. That's, we look back on and go, thank God that happened. Thank God I met that person. Thank God I went through that upheaval, because now I'm in a place I would never have been otherwise. I'm liberated. So I see that happening for you, and don't worry if things sort of get churned up, because the universe is holding space for you to get through it, be liberated from it, and empowered in the long run. especially for the long term, because Capricorn is the sign that's here. There might be something suddenly that you encounter in terms of some hidden resources or tax returns or, lucrative something or other that you receive from a big business or an inheritance or something like that. So I do see some sort of sudden financial blessing that comes your way. It could be through someone passing and they leave it to you, because this is the house of, someone suddenly passing away, leaving you an inheritance. It could look like that, but it could just be that somebody is prompted to include you in their will or give you something that they don't want anymore, and it's actually really meaningful and important to you in some way. So I do get that sense as well. There will be some kind of a blessing financially, or it could be emotional blessing and support. Venus energy. It could be love that surrounds you now, Gemini, that supports you and holds you, and that's your inheritance. That's your blessing, maybe. Some sort of, because this is the house of what we receive from others. It's the second house from the seventh. Other people's resources, and sometimes the resources of others is their emotional strength, and they're not lending that to you, they're giving that to you. Emotional support. Maybe they're giving you financial support. Maybe somebody is giving you physical support, like you need a place to live, come live with me, let me share my resources with you. So it's not just inheritances, it's the blessing of other people's resources being there for you in some way, Gemini, in the next 6 months that I'm seeing. Okay, it's a house of sex. This is the house of bed pleasures, blessing the house of sex. Those of us who are partnered or dating and in a position where we can be enjoying those things, it looks like it's all on for you guys to enjoy the beauty of a sexual relationship. You might get a bit kinky with it. Fantastic. That could lead to some self-discovery and some deep intimacy, but lots of fun and playfulness that I'm seeing here. I'm seeing that, you might be getting out of a rut with your sex life, with your sexual behavior. You might be saying, you know what, I've just done it vanilla missionary style for the last God knows how long. You know what? let's go to pole dancing classes or something like that, or whatever. You decide to shake it up, get a bit freaky with it all. Why not? This is a beautiful combination, Gemini. Enjoy that. And even if you're single, why not go to a pole dancing class or a strip class or something and learn the joy and the pleasure of delight in your body, for the sake of delight in your body and your physical expression, without there needing to even be a partner. So I'm seeing some excitement, some kink, some change that's ultimately incredibly liberating and empowering for you. Get out of your comfort zone. Don't hold yourself back with, oh, that's not for me and I can't do that and that's a bit weird. What is going to challenge you? What is going to shake you up so that life becomes more exciting, more interesting, more of a desire to live? This is a house of initiation, spiritual and mystical initiation, but it could even be a sexual initiation through going to, strippers class or something like that. Why not initiate yourself into something exciting and liberating that you've never known before? Okay, so that's where I'm going with that. I think I'll leave that there. But I do want to say, my Gemini friends, thank you so much for supporting me as I rose to 20,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And to celebrate, I am offering my Astro Wheel, this one here, for sale, $100 off at the Astro shop at the website. Only for 1 week, just to celebrate this milestone that I'm so glad to have reached. Also, dear friends, my introductory level for the Royal Stars Academy is going on sale from Solstice until the end of January. $500 off the usual price to do this course. Head to the link in the description below. Don't miss out. Come and learn astrology with me. And if you're a Patreon member, I'm going to be talking about the ingress chart for the Sun into Capricorn and the associated new moon in Capricorn that's part of that ingress chart. I want to break that down for all signs at the Patreon family this week. You don't want to miss that report either. Thank you, Gemini. Cancer rising, Cancer sun, Cancer moon puts the energy that we are seeing between Uranus and Venus, let me get this right, falling in the 7th house. So here is Uranus up here in Taurus, trining Venus in Capricorn, and this is happening on the 27th of December. So this is going to be affecting not so much you, Cancer people, but it's going to be affecting the significant others in your life, your spouses, your business partners, maybe clients, other people are seen through the 7th house, and that is where this effect is going to be felt. So you might be observing your partners becoming more spontaneous. Maybe they're breaking out of their usual self-imposed boundaries in life, and they're getting a bit, getting jiggy with it. They're more exciting to be around. They're more interesting and quirky. Somehow your partners are becoming, more beautiful to you. Venus energy is beauty. Connecting with Uranus, all of a sudden you're seeing things in your partner that, maybe you never realized were there, and you're falling in love with them all over again. All of a sudden, there's a renewed rekindling of authenticity in love and relationships that's available for you with this energy this week. Those of you who are single, you might be experiencing very interesting people crossing your path, people with wonderful ideas and a different mindset that really, intrigues you, captivates you. So you might be, sometimes this is an energy that triggers love and relationship and partnership coming into your life. If it does happen for you that way, it's likely to be somebody who's going to turn your life around, change your whole world, change how you see the world, change how you show up in the world. So it could be bringing in very authentic love experiences, interesting love experiences, life-changing love experiences if you're a single person. Of course, it has to interact well with your natal birth chart, but if it does, that is one way that can manifest. You are going to see that your partners, other people in your life, are somehow charged up, excited about something. They're upbeat, they're positive. They've got an aura of enthusiasm about them that they mightn't usually have, which can be very lovely to observe. Your partners, listen to what they're saying to you. Listen to their wisdom and their guidance, because they are going to be subject to more intuition and flashes of insight now. That might be what they share with you. The conversations you have with your partners could lead to a great deal of self-discovery and revelations. I think a lot of you Cancer people are going to get, how somebody says something completely offhanded and it cuts like a knife in the best way. It reveals something about yourself and helps you shed an old skin that you don't need anymore. And their comment was said perfectly innocently and offhandedly, and you are transformed by it. So expect that there will be change coming from your interactions with others that leads you to a sense of self-discovery. There is also an energy that your partners might be wanting to get out of an old routine. Maybe they felt stuck. Maybe they felt that things are stagnant. They've had enough and they want to change things up. Now, if that's what's happening, this is an energy for, like, Uranus rules divorce, Venus is love in the house of relationships. If that's the case, I can see for only some of you Cancer people, like, listen to your intuition if this resonates or not, but some Cancer people might be like, with their partners, I think we've gone as far as we can go. Let's call it a day. Let's end things amiably, trine aspect. Let's get divorced, but let's do it in a way that's really respectful, that's really full of forgiveness and space for each other, that's really full of honoring the authenticity of one another's journey. So that could be happening for some Cancer people. Uranus divorce, trining Venus in the house of relationships. Also, Venus rules for a Cancer person the 4th house of family, so it can tie into sort of a change in the family as well that's coming. And of course, divorces would indicate that, or separations would indicate that. And a lot of people, everybody's talking about it. So many people are splitting up now. This is part of what I spoke about in the introduction, Cancer. And if you haven't listened to the introduction, I encourage you to go listen to it, because there was a lot of profound truths that I shared there. But this is a karmic refining process. 2022, 2023, big karmic refining processes that are seeing many things ending that are karmic. Okay. So yes, that can be on the cards, and usually it will come through under this energy, the partner instigating, hey, I'm sick of this, let's change things up, I've got to get out of this old way of doing things, it's done, it's over. So it's going to be the partner that's the initiator of an ending potentially here too. If not, it could actually represent that there's an ending in a relationship dynamic. I'm sick of it always being this way, where you do this domestic work and I do that stuff around the house. Let's change it up. I'm sick of it always being that way. Let's change our habits, change our routine in how our partnership functions day to day. So there can be it could just manifest like that. You're making some changes with your partner to how you're doing life together. So that's really what I'm seeing as a lot of the focus for our our Cancer rising sun or moon people. Now, Cancer, I want to say thank you for being with me on this journey to 20,000 subscribers here at YouTube. So grateful for your presence. And to say thank you, I am offering my Astro Wheel for 1 week only at $100 off the usual standard price. So if you would like one, you've always wanted one, now's your chance. You've got a week. Head to the website, the Astro Shop. They are on sale. Also, Cancer people, my introductory level for the Royal Stars Academy is going on sale from Solstice to the end of January. And I just want to say it is $500 off. This is a huge bargain, so you don't want to miss this. If you want to study astrology and get your foundation right, head to the link in the description below and don't miss out. And if you are a Patreon member, I want you to know, Cancer friends, that I am doing a very special report on this solstice chart, the ingress of the sun into Capricorn and the associated new moon in Capricorn that comes as part of that, breaking that down for all signs. That report's coming out for you this week. Thank you, my beautiful Cancer friends. Now, my Leo lovers, I am so excited to talk about what's happening for you this week. Leo, we are looking at the energy between Venus and Uranus, operating between Taurus and Capricorn, and of course if Capricorn is where it's going to all be felt, because we've got all this action down here in Capricorn this week, your 6th house. Okay, so this is a blessed energy. Even though the 6th house is involved, and the 6th house, let's face it, it's a hard work house, it's a difficult house, it is, to my mind, one of the most challenging malefic houses in the horoscope, because it's the only malefic house that is not also a moksha liberation house. This is a malefic house, the 8th house, it's also a moksha house. 12th house is also a moksha house, it's a malefic house as well. But 6th house is not a liberation moksha house. It is just a difficult house, okay? But Leo, let's talk about what's going to happen here. This energy is a blessed one, a trine. So it's like people in authority are going to be there for you in sudden, miraculous ways. Uranus in the house of people in authority, CEOs, government officials, leaders in your community, people that you look up to. They are going to be suddenly giving you some blessing that might get you out of a rut with, some poverty or lack that you're dealing with financially, Venus, or a lack of love, Venus. Something that some, key person does in a sudden sort of unexpected way, maybe a windfall or a lucky break, lucky turn of events, boom, gets you out of heavy 6th house energy pertaining to Venus themes, okay? So an interesting person might cross your path that causes that to happen, causes you to break free of some sort of victim mentality. This is the house that takes us away from God the most. through adversity, through difficulties. I mean, you notice a lot of people, and I've seen this in my own life, a lot of people who go through hardship and trauma and challenges, they're like, how can God be real? How can the energy of love in the universe be real? Because I've suffered so much, and I look out around me and so many people suffer so much. This poor me, which is legitimate, life on earth sucks. This attitude, though, is what takes us away from a belief in God more than any other house in the horoscope, okay? So there is some key person, some high authority level personality that might suddenly help you break out of that poor me, life sucks, it's hard, life's not fair. Maybe you're going to see Leos through this energy that the universe can be kind, can be full of blessing, can be full of opportunities. Uranus is in the position of a world changer planet up here for you right now. It's in your 10th house. And I know Uranus is not, traditionally associated with, being very powerful in Taurus. But still, this is a very powerful angular house. So there is, for the duration of Uranus here from 2018 till 2026, powerful transformations coming from the authority figures or from your career or from people of influence and your ability to be a person of influence. Changing, in this case, everything that's difficult and challenging and hard in life. It's where you struggle, 6th house. So I'm so excited to say that this is one of the moments in this period of Uranus's transit of Taurus house where you might notice a liberation effect. Not because it's a moksha house, but because Uranus sets you free. Uranus is liberation. Uranus is authenticity, it's truth, it's getting real. Now, in the positive, the 6th house can be, once we've left behind this victim mentality, it can be a house that's a healing house. But it's healing through practical means. And so, maybe you've struggled with a mortgage for many, many years, and then something happens suddenly, unexpectedly. Maybe somebody out there says, you know what, I need to, bequeath money to somebody, and they bequeath it to you, helps you get rid of your mortgage, and there's practical healing there of a burden in your life. 6th house is our debts and our burdens in that sense. Do you see what I'm saying here? It's practical healing. It's not so much a spiritual healing house. It's not so much a, soul healing house. It's about, my daily life. How do I pay the bills? How do I keep my body healthy? How do I live a life where I can serve more because I'm freer to serve more and I'm not tied to the bank or tied to like the mortgage or tied to, some sort of, illness or lack of education or something. We're seeing, this energy says we're seeing our Leo friends set free from disadvantage. So I'm excited to share that with this energy. Now, I've talked about some pretty big scale events here. It might be happening in subtle ways for you. It really depends on how your personal chart is configured and interacting with this particular energy. So, Leo, I want you just to remember with this energy to keep humility. Humility is honored in the 6th house. Not, hey, look at me, aren't I fantastic and I'm so good and the world owes me. No, it's about remaining humble. It's about honoring our karmic responsibility to serve, to help, to heal, to fix. So no matter what blessings that you receive that liberate you from these difficulties of the 6th house, remember to, how can I honor others? How can I help others? How can I heal the life situations of others? How can I be a blessing? Keep that in mind as well. That's one of the mechanisms we use to remain humble. How can I heal, help, and serve? So that's what I'm seeing as being one of the major influences here. I also see Uranus helping liberate you, Leo, from old habits of self-sabotage, habits that hold you back from like living your authentic truth in your everyday life, changing things, getting you out of a rut, as I've just described, maybe with a health issue or with a routine that you're living. You're sick of the same old, and this breaks you out of that same old. It could also mean that you are liberated, like I said, from debt, from lack, from disadvantage in a certain situation in life. So I'm seeing so much blessing that going forward may last you and bless you for the long term. This is an Upachaya house. Whatever blessing comes under this energy, through conscious effort and hard work over the next 6 months, you can really turn this into something of a gift for the long term in your life. But you have to take action to turn it into something that blesses you going forward. You have to do the work, is what I'm saying. So, Leo friends, thank you so much for helping me attain 20,000 subscribers here on YouTube. I'm so delighted by this milestone that I am offering my Astro Wheel for sale for 1 week only, $100 off. So if you've always wanted an Astro Wheel, now's your chance to purchase one. Head to the Astro shop at the website to make sure you get in and get one. Also, Leo, I am offering my introductory level of the Royal Stars Academy on sale from Solstice until the end of January, $500 off the usual price. Head to the link in the description below and don't miss out if you want to come and study astrology with me. And if you are a Patreon member, Leo, coming up for you this week is going to be a really important video where we're discussing the forecast for all signs of the sun's ingress into Capricorn for solstice and the new moon in Capricorn and what that means for every one of us. So if you're a Patreon member, you can look forward to that video coming out for you. Thanks, Leo. Virgo rising, Virgo sun, Virgo moon people. Well, the energy of Uranus making a trine to Capricorn is really holding space for you guys. You Virgo people, I think have been, of all the signs, been most blessed over the last year because a lot of the upheavals and what have you have been, in blessed houses, beneficial houses that trine your ascendant. So that's a bonus for you guys. And this is no exception. Uranus is trining Venus from the 9th house of blessing to the 5th house of luck, both of which, especially if you've got planets around your ascendant around 15 degrees, both of which are creating a grand trine with your rising sign, Virgo. So yeah, powerful. What does this mean for you guys? Well, this is a house of good karma from past lives. It's the 5th house where you're going to notice this the most. And so there's blessing coming for you from past lives, but it's going to come suddenly, unexpectedly. Like there's a gift that just lands in your lap, some blessing that arrives on your doorstep. Virgo, it could be wonderful. It could be that there's a joyous occasion coming your way that's really going to help you go forward in life for the long term with more happiness, with more just a sparkle in your smile and a skip in your step that comes your way. So joy and exhilaration, excitement and happiness, the fire of God comes to you suddenly with this energy, and it just helps you be more creative, helps you have more fun. There might, in a practical sense, be more parties that you're invited to now, more dressing up for a good time. Venus is to dress up and look beautiful. You might just have more opportunities for getting out there and enjoying yourself, celebrating, having fun, going out under this combination. And often those events might come all of a sudden. You're given the chance. Like I was talking earlier, I forget which sign I was mentioning this, but I was approached by a girlfriend this week who said, hey, I've got a spare ticket for Keith Urban concert. Do you want to come? Now, I'm not a big fan of his wife. I think she's pure evil, but I do like Keith Urban's music. And I'm like, yep, I'm there. So out of the blue, all of a sudden I'm going this weekend. Fantastic. That's the kind of thing. Stepping out comes all of a sudden when you least expected it. More fun, more joy, more partying on, which is wonderful. And in doing so, you can find that you become liberated, because remember, it's trining your rising sign. So through stepping out, through socializing, through parties, through fun, you actually find yourself getting out of a rut, getting out of an old routine of boredom or struggle or feeling low. It shakes you up and allows you to have more joy in your life. So good time to change old habits. Good, step out. Put yourself out there as well. Get in touch with your inner child, all these fifth house things. The more you do so, the more you're going to liberate your soul and set free your joy. So very sociable, very playful energy. You might also find some very interesting, creative, quirky, artsy people cross your path and inspire you now. A house of inspiration, kind of connecting with, a house of creativity. That's really good. You might be tapping into some new talents that you didn't know you had, some new interests that you didn't know you had, some new knowledge that's sort of been bubbling up inside of you. You won't have to work hard to bring it to the fore either. There's an understanding that comes up easily. There's a knowledge, Uranus in the 9th house, knowledge that comes up easily and creatively expresses. So, make sure you've got, whatever you use to write with, maybe you write a new novel or you paint a new picture or you design a new outfit or something. Whatever is your creative self-expression, have the tools handy, because this is going to just bubble up in you and you're just going to get like this level of inspiration. You don't want to miss it by not having the tools you need to express this. This is also the house of our children. So if you are somebody who has children, this is going to be an energy where you just feel more love towards your children and they feel more love to you. There's a bonding element here. It'll come up all of a sudden. Your children might experience some sort of form of liberation and joy, or they might spontaneously, be just dancing around the house with pleasure and happiness, and that lifts your joy, your spirits too. There's something that an interaction with the children here that's, like I said, spontaneous, them being very authentic, them being very real and creating more beauty and wonder in your life. Venus, gorgeous energy here. You're going to feel the love for your children. This is also the house of the things that we love. Some of you might be discovering new things that you love that you never imagined. You try your hand at gardening. Oh my God, how have I not gardened before? This brings me so much joy. Venus is gardening. Venus is the natural world. Maybe you go bushwalking for the first time and you're like, my God, I didn't know I would love this so much. It's so pleasurable to be out in nature and visiting a waterfall or whatever it is. Excuse me. Sudden experiences of joy and pleasure to do with Venus that you suddenly fall in love with. Some new hobby, some new form of delight. It could be that you go out and eat at a restaurant and you fall in love with Cajun cooking. You never tried it before, and lo and behold, it's your new favorite. Falling in love with new things. Now, this is also a house of dating and romance, and for our Virgo people, more than any other sign, this is a combination that could lead you to finding some sort of new love, falling in love spontaneously all of a sudden. Some interesting, quirky person crosses your path and you fall in love. And it is romantic and exciting. It's like, fireworks. It's like electricity. It's beautiful. You discover a new way of loving, a new way of expressing love, experiencing love, a new way of showing up with the romance that you crave in your life. You might be receiving it. You might also be giving it. So much wonder and joy for our Virgo friends. I'm so pleased to say, keep in mind that this is going forward. Potentially it's available for you for the next 6 months or so until we hit the next solstice. Very exciting. I want to say thank you, Virgo friends, for being with me on my journey to 22,000 will be the next goal, 20,000 subscribers here on YouTube. I am so grateful for you having been with me on this journey that I am offering my Astro Wheel for sale for 1 week only at $100 off. So if you've always wanted an Astro Wheel, now is the time to buy one and celebrate hitting 20,000 subscribers with me. Also, Virgo, my introductory level for the Royal Stars Academy is going on sale from solstice until the end of January. It is $500 off the usual price. Head to the link in the description below and don't miss out. Come learn astrology with me. And finally, if you're a Patreon member, Virgo friends, then the Sun new moon conjunction here at 1 degree of Capricorn is what we're discussing for all signs this week. It's part of the solar ingress chart into Solstice, so you don't want to miss out on this report. It's a very special one, focusing on all signs for my Patreon family. Libra rising, sun or moon people. Well, we are focusing this week, Libra, on the energy that is forming between Uranus and Venus. Uranus is here in the 8th house and Venus is down here, your 8th house lord, in the 4th house by transit. So it's the 4th house that's going to be under the most influence of this energy at solstice. 22nd of December is when this is occurring. So this means that you might be experiencing some sort of spontaneous and pleasurable spontaneous events with family, with your closest, nearest, dearest, with your tribe, you know. The family could be blood relations, but it could also be your dear friends who feel like sisters and brothers to you. So I'm seeing some pleasure, some fun, some joy with those special people in your life. You might be in a home environment and somebody interesting and quirky crosses your path that really gets you out of a rut, that shakes you out of an old way of thinking. So maybe you go to someone's party, Christmas party in their house, and you get talking to some random stranger and they just open your eyes to new things. They transform you. 8th house, boom, 4th house. But it's most likely to be in a home environment that you experience this, where somebody transforms you, changes you, turns your life around, maybe through some offhanded statement, maybe just through some sharing of their insight, sharing of their knowledge, and light bulb goes off in your mind. You're like, aha, now it all makes sense. Now I understand, you know, and your life is changed through attending some sort of party or pleasurable event in someone's home. I do see you being more social and playful this month, going forward for the next 6 months, Libra, because of this combination. But I'm not seeing you this isn't an energy for going out and, attending some big social event downtown in the park or something like that. It's more life-changing events that occur in a very intimate setting, in a private setting for you, maybe even a secret setting with this combination as well. So I'm seeing lots of changes and transformations coming your way in a private environment. It's also, quite honestly, this is an energy for, actually I've just realized this is actually quite beautiful, quite powerful for our Libran friends to do some sort of renovation. You might suddenly be inspired to sort of change your home, shake up your domestic life, get out of a rut with your domestic life. Some of you might be moving, some of you might be changing houses, some of you might be renovating, as I said. So good time for taking a risk or stepping out of your comfort zone with regard to your domestic lifestyle or home physical bricks and mortar. So if you need to take out a loan to do some changes to your house, this is actually good energy to consider doing so under, because of the positive trine forming between these two. I do see you having a lot of intuitive insight and flashes of discovery, Libra, because of this combination as well, because this is the house of our deep emotional foundation, and this combination is one that gives us those light bulb aha eureka moments. I see you having an emotional experience that sets you free, that helps you step into your authenticity and truth, that maybe even helps you, Libra, come to terms with your own self-worth and self-value in a brand new way that changes the core of who you are and the foundation of who you are going forward for the long term. Capricorn is things that come about, that last and endure. I'm seeing that there could be something suddenly happen in your life, Libra, that changes your experience of safety and security and stability going forward in a positive way. Because of this energy, something might suddenly happen that allows you to feel more solid, safe, and secure in the world going forward. Love it. Love it. Your domestic life, land, property, home, garden, could all be transformed because of this energy in a very positive sense, in a very positive way. Your parenting style is also seen from the 4th house. So you might get some aha epiphanies about how you're parenting. You might be able to parent going forward from this energy with more love, more forgiveness, more grace. You might even have more forgiveness, more love, more grace to your parents, to your family. So lots of changes, sudden, swift changes that really bless this core foundational element of who you are. I'm just so happy to share this because I'm Libra Moon. I really feel this to be so needed for we Libran people. You know, setting us free from difficult family relations, setting us free from difficult home environments, domestic environments. I'm seeing transformation at such an emotionally deep core level for us that it changes who we are going forward. So happy to share that with you, Libra. So I want to also say thank you, Librans, for being with me on this climb to reaching 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm so happy that I am offering my Astro Wheel for sale now at the Astro shop on the website. It's $100 off. What a bargain. 1 week only. Get in now. Get an Astro Wheel before they go back to their usual price. Don't miss out. Also, my introductory level for the Royal Stars Academy is going on sale from Solstice to the end of January. So you've got to the end of January to get in and get $500 off the usual price of my Royal Stars Academy introductory level. Head to the link in the description below and don't miss out. Come and learn astrology with me. And Librans, if you happen to be a Patreon family member, you're about to get a report all about the solstice ingress of the sun and the new moon in Capricorn for all signs. It's going to be a very special video. You won't want to miss that one. So thank you, my Libran friends. Now, Scorpio rising, Scorpio sun, Scorpio moon people, the energy of this fabulous Uranus trine to Venus is forming in your third house. That's where you're going to feel it more than anything. So this is really a beautiful energy, Scorpio, for experiencing new friendships, creating new connections with people that feel like, you know, really comfortable. You know, just new friendships that you know might be more intimate circle. The 11th house is big groups of people. The third house is small groups of people. So creating a new social small group. You might join a workshop or do some sort of certificate course or a little bit of study or something and make some really strong bonds with a small group of people. So this could be really lovely because this is a very social energy. And usually a spontaneously received energy as well. Interesting, quirky people are likely to cross your path, and you're likely to form connections and bonds with people with very unusual frames of mind and different perspectives. Positive change and excitement is in the air through something that you learn, something new that you discover. This is a house of the discovery that we make through our life experience, and our shared life experience. So you might be chatting with a friend over a coffee and say, well, I had this experience. I haven't told anybody about it, but my God, it was so life-changing. And your friend says, well, you know what? I had that experience too. And you share and you interact about your very unusual, quirky Uranus life experiences, and it opens up a whole new world for you. Creates excitement, creates understanding, creates an epiphany, an aha moment, flashes of insight that come to you because of this. So get social, go out for coffees, connect with other people, because you're likely to experience a really profound change through just connecting with others in some way. In fact, these things are going to shake you up. You know, it might shake up your understanding of other people. Look, this is the house of our mental perspective on life and what we think about life and how we think. It's likely to all shift in a most beautiful, blessed way. But it's likely to come through your connection with others, through connecting and being. You know, it could be that you mightn't have to actually go out and have a coffee. You might be on social media and you might suddenly read something and you're like, oh, penny drop moment. Now I understand what people are all talking about when they say we are sovereign beings and blah, 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 whatever it happens to be, you know, and you finally understand some social concept, and your mentality around a certain theme might change in a sudden epiphany kind of state. Now, I'm also seeing you go on a beautiful local trip. You might go visit an open garden Venus, or might go to a beautiful music event in your local area in some way. You might go to a winery or, a chocolaterie. Venus rules sweet things. Some sort of localized trip for the joy and the pleasure and the delight of it that I'm seeing unfold. It could be a weekend away. It could be, just an afternoon day trip, but it's going to be lovely. You'll probably be thinking about beautiful things a lot as well, about how to beautify your environment, your daily life, how to live a more beautiful life, how to be more beautiful. Your thinking will be going along those lines. You might even be thinking about forgiveness, forgiving other people, giving grace to others. That's Venus. You might be thinking a lot about that sort of thing too. Venus has to do with buying and selling in a house of small business here. So you might be, making some crafts that you want to sell at a market. Maybe you've never had a stall at a market before. You think you might try it out. You might get a sudden inspiration to do so. Go for it. This is a great energy for having a market stall through, you create candles, or maybe you make, coffee pottery mugs or something like that. Whatever it is, you get the chance to be some sort of tradesperson with something beautiful that you create in a form of and in an inspired moment. Use your talents, use your skills, use your creativity going forward. And what you establish now, because this is Capricorn, the long-lasting energy, what you establish now could actually be beneficial for you in the long run. So you might spontaneously decide you're going to go and have a market stall selling your pottery mugs, and it goes so well, you set up a permanent stall for the next 6 months at that market, and you're selling every Saturday morning your beautiful pottery mugs. Something for the long term is blessed through some sudden inspirational idea in business. Now, I've given you a market stall scenario, but it could be a website. It could be some sort of side hustle that you get involved in. It could be that you're inspired to write something, or to speak, or to set up a social media account or something that really takes off, that really goes well for the long term. Capricorn energy, but it comes in a sudden rush of inspiration. So don't ignore those aha moments, those I'm going to do that kind of enthusiastic moments, because they could be setting you up for some kind of blessing in the long term. Self-made wealth is a third house theme. So running your own business or side hustle could be very blessed because of this combination. Now, thank you, Scorpio friends. I want to just point out to you that I have hit 20,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and I'm so happy that I am celebrating by offering $100 off my Astro Wheels, available at the Astro Shop, 1 week only. If you've always wanted an Astro Wheel, now's your chance. Don't miss out. Also, my introductory level for the Royal Stars Academy is going on sale from Solstice to the end of January, $500 off the usual price. So head to the link in the description below and don't miss out if you want to come and study astrology with me. And if you are a Patreon family member, I want you to know that we are having a very special report for all signs this week, where we're looking at the ingress chart from the Sun moving into Capricorn and making this new moon in Capricorn. For all signs, what does it mean? Join the Patreon family if you want to find out. Thank you so much, my beautiful Scorpio friends. And Sagittarius, you've been waiting till last a lot lately, haven't you, Sagittarius? That's because there's so much action in the sign of Capricorn, and we're always starting with Capricorn and ending with Sagittarius. But for our Saggy friends, Sun, Rising, Moon signs, the energy, you can tell I'm losing my voice here, the energy of Uranus trine Venus occurring on the 22nd of December, solstice, is affecting your second house. And so this is where something surprising and unexpected might occur for you. Something to do with your resources. Now, by resources, yes, that's money in the bank, but it's also your resources are everything. Your emotional capacity, your self-love is a resource. Your ability to honor the self and not self-sabotage, that's a resource that you've got that supports your journey in life. Your ability to create security in your material realm, and that can mean through having enough food in the pantry, or enough warm clothing in the cupboard, and enough blankets to keep you warm. That is our second house second house energy for our Sagittarius friends. So there's likely to be some unexpected blessing in that area. You might receive, some sort of gift from people. Now, it could be something unexpected. It could be that somebody brings you around, a Christmas hamper full of, Christmas pudding and eggnog and chocolates and all the yummy sweet things, Venus's sweet things, that fills your pantry with all sorts of luscious goodness for Christmas. So a blessing in terms of food, second house, that's a resource. There could be a blessing that comes in the form of an epiphany about who you are and how much you honor yourself and how much self-love you're living with or not living with, that changes your life, that gets you out of a rut, that shakes things up. That's what Uranus wants to do, wants to liberate your sense of self-worth now, Sagittarius, your sense of value going forward. And it's likely to be with you, this change, this shake-up, for the next 6 months until the next solstice. So this is a time when you can get some sort of increased intuition and flashes of insight that lead to self-discovery, that empowers your self-worth. Really, really powerful energy for changing your life. And remember, as you feel within about yourself, it determines what you experience in the outer world, what things manifest for you in the outer world in terms of blessing. So love yourself, and blessing flows in the external world as a result from that. Now, it's a good time under this beautiful influence for taking a risk with finance. Now, I want to just point out, though, your Venus is the ruler of the house of debt. And Uranus, Venus is the dispositor by transit now of Uranus in the house of debt, but yet it's forming a beautiful trine energy. So I think when I'm talking about a risk in finance, if you've been considering taking out a loan, it could pay off for you to do so. And it will pay off for you in the long term. So as you know, when we take out a loan, it's not like we don't suddenly feel liberated and free. We feel like we're tied to the bank. But in the long term, let's say you take out a loan for a house, it's going to pay off. Property prices rise. You've got a loan for X amount of money, but the house has doubled in value over a period of 7 years. You're in a better position because you took out that loan. And Capricorn is long-term energy. So Sagittarius, yes, it's an energy for taking a risk, but don't expect sudden results from that venture. Take a risk, if you like, by taking out a loan or a mortgage or something like that, that will pay off long-term for you, long-term gains. Short-term pain, long-term gain. You know how it goes. So that's what I'm seeing when it comes to taking a risk financially. It's not an instantaneous, scratch your Tats Lotto card and see if you've won kind of thing. It's more, let's do something for the long term here, a long-term win. Okay, so yeah, debts for the long-term benefit is what that energy is representing. This is also an energy for storing things. So you might suddenly be inspired to, preserve some apricots. I mean, it's nearly apricot season here in Australia. I love apricot season. I love my apricots. My grandma used to make the most beautiful apricot jam from her apricot trees. You might be making apricot jam and preserves and, that sort of thing. You might suddenly be inspired to get out the Fowler's kit and start preserving fruit, filling your pantry with beautiful sweet fruits. Venus energy. And of course, Uranus is coming from a house of very practical, practical implementation in your daily routine. So really quite a beautiful combination that would express that way. Practical storage of something sweet, Venus. You might be making, Christmas lollies or something like that, or Christmas chocolates to give to all your friends. That can be how this might manifest as well. Definitely storage of something of value to you. It can also mean a sudden opportunity to accumulate something of value. Capricorn energy has an energy of keeping things for the long term. So I've talked about taking a loan for a house, but it could be anything. You might buy yourself for a Christmas present a first edition novel that is going to appreciate in value over time. Could be an artwork. Venus is paintings and artwork, or some sort of design. It could be a piece of furniture, like an Ames chair or something like that, that's going to just grow in value over time, or something that over time is going to increase in value when you store it and keep it for the long term. But you'll be spontaneously inspired, I think, to do so. So that's what I'm seeing as being very pertinent for our Sagittarius friends with this combination. Sagittarius, I'm so thankful that you've been with me in this journey to reaching 20,000 subscribers over the last 4 years. Thank you, one and all. And to celebrate, I am offering my Astro Wheel on sale for $100 off at the Astro Shop at the website. So if you've always wanted one, now's your chance to get it for a bargain. Also, my introductory level for the Royal Stars Academy is going on sale from Solstice until the end of January. It's $500 off the usual price. What a bargain. Head to the link in the description below. Don't miss out. Come and study astrology with me at the Royal Stars Academy. And finally, if you are a Patreon member, this week we're doing an all signs forecast for the ingress of the sun into Capricorn for solstice, combined with the new moon in Capricorn that is forming. Very important climatic part of the year. We're going to break down what it means for all signs. If you're a Patreon member, I will see you there. So thank you, one and all, my YouTube family, for being with me on this journey. It's a delight to bring you the astro weather every week. I look forward to continuing to do so for another 20,000 subscribers, however long that may take to achieve. Thank you for joining me. I love you all dearly, and have a very Merry Christmas season.